Okay. Since yesterday, this wedding picture of a lady with the general overseer of the Lord's Choosing Church came up, is going viral, and we do know that Pastor Lazarus Moka, the general overseer of the Lord's Choosing Church, lost his first wife and later lost the second wife, I think 2 years ago. And then recently, this picture under here is circulating a few days ago now that he has taken up a third wife. And this has generated a lot of controversy online here. I saw a story where one sister was lamenting that when she got born again in the Lord's choosing, that she was made to leave her husband as a second wife, because she was told that in as much as she continued to live with that man, that she was committing adultery, and that the man was treating her so well that it was the Lord choosing that said, brought the doctrine that he must leave that man if you want to make heaven. And so she left the man. That when she was packing, the man was pleading with her, have I offended you? Have I done you anything? And then she has to leave because of the doctrine. And now that the man now has married first, second, and the third, I'm like, wow. Do people reason? The circumstances that led her to marry as a second wife and the circumstances that led Lazarus Moka to marry to a third woman now, they are not the same thing. It's not the same. I don't think we eat through the nose. We all know the truth, but when we want to make noise online here or rant, we don't even think of what we do to people's brain. You understand? A man lost wife 2 occasions, and instead of him to be depressed and have issues, he still summon up courage to still try the third marriage. So, and instead of being empathetic, we are not coming online here to talk rubbish. That sister is talking rubbish because what happened to man of God is not what happened to you. Yes, we have so many churches today that believe in monogamy of marriage, that you can never marry in as much as your spouse is alive. It's not only the Lord choosing. Deeper Life shares the belief. Assemblies of God share the belief. All those foremost Pentecostal churches, they share such belief that if you have a problem with your husband, they share such belief that if you marry as a second wife, you leave the man, or you will not even be a communicant. Even in Catholic Church, if you are a second wife, you can't be a communicant. Even in Anglican Church. So what are you saying? When you are not a communicant, they have already told you that, look, your case is helpless. So it's not something, they are preaching it and you are not being forced or coerced. They read the Bible and they tell you this is where we understand it and this is where we believe it. And if you believe it with them, if you are convinced. If you are not convinced, the problem I see there is that people do things they are not convinced. Later, they start regretting. Do you understand? It's good you are convinced before you do something so that you don't regret tomorrow. Okay? So all the stories people are telling up and down. Now, I saw another story that even prompted me to do this video now. Somebody is now saying that the Catholic, the Pope should consider allowing the Roman Catholic clergies to marry. That look at Lazarus Moka has married up to 3 now. I don't know how people reason. Somebody is having a problem. There is nobody that is prone to problem. Even the senior ministers that are ministering to us, they have their challenges. In fact, they are even the devil's target. Some of them are paying a lot of price to be where they are. And to Moka, this is the price he has to pay. He's not only one in this shoe. I know some men of God that such a thing happened to. Yes, I know some that even they could not overcome it. Some died out of depression because of that. But thank God that this one did not get depressed or begin to, or now out of depression, develop one sickness or the other and died. Inasmuch as God searched the whole heart, inasmuch as he is not the one, inasmuch as his hand is not in the death of any of the wife, and that is what God can judge, because God sees in the secret and God sees in the open. So inasmuch as his hand is not in the buying of any of the women, you are not to judge him. God understands everything. We all have our challenges. We all have our challenges. I repeat, I know some men of God that such a thing has happened. I know some brothers that lost wife twice. We don't pray for all these things, but sometimes they happen. But if the people can bounce back on their feet despite the severity of their challenges and still decide to move on, I don't think it is something that reasonable people will now use as caricature and now use it as something they will now be talking. Even some people are now saying, those women, he has used them, and this one now is not afraid. Is the next in line. Why are people like this talking? You talk trash. You talk things you don't know. Recently, we know a renowned man of God in this country that had such a similar situation. He couldn't survive. First wife died. He got married to another second wife. The woman died. Despite all the effort the man made to save the life of the woman died. Despite all effort of the church to console the man, did everything. He migrated to depression and subsequently he died. So you don't know people's story, what people are going through. We all came from different background, battling, quoting confessing blood, doing everything. You don't seem to know the battles people are facing differently. When you are talking on the faces of newspaper, when you are talking on the Facebook, talking on TikTok, talking on Instagram, other social media handles, be careful of what you say. Be careful of analogies. Be careful of comparison you do. Why are you now using this to talk about reverend fathers that are not getting married? What is the relationship between somebody who lost wife 2 times and who decided to give it a trial again? What is the relationship between that person and that the Catholic does not allow their priest to marry? Any comparison? You are just looking for traffic on your page, using another person's pain. Use another person's pain to look for traffic. Is that good? He's not alone. If I begin to mention now, you say, such a thing happened to this person, such a thing. Even in terms of divorce, some have married, divorce, and bring another one. That one run again. We all have our challenges. We all have our challenges. The way you are challenged is not the way another person is challenged. The way another person is challenged is not the way you are challenged. You cannot be in your house and say the man know what is happening to the wives because you are not there and you don't have any evidence to show. I'm not rather saying that if he has hand in it, that he should be justified. No. But you don't talk what you don't know and what you don't see. It is God that knows everything, and it is God that will judge all men. Except you have evidence that authenticates that he orchestrated the death of anyone. If you have such evidence, you can come forward. But if you don't have, Wichionogi forever. Yes, I say Wichionogi. Stop talking. You right to go here. Since this very wedding picture surfaced with this lady, I've been seeing a lot of blog writing irrelevant stories. Stories that are not in consonance with what happened. He lost the first wife and he lost the second. And I'm telling you that I know other men of God I happen to. And it does not mean that they are the one that kill or killing those women. Do you understand? I even know some brothers it happened to. Yes. I know a brother it happened to. He married the first wife, the first wife died. And he got engaged with another sister. And that sister died at the point of delivery. Yes. And after that, it was then they said that we are calling him in their village that there must be something that must be broken, that if not, no wife will stay with him or something of that nature. I don't know. But he tried the third one, and that third one did not die. He's living to today. Only I heard that that third one didn't give birth, but is alive. So many are the afflictions of the righteous. When some of you are talking, please mind what you say. All of you that are saying, okay, look at this one that is saying that the Catholics should allow, look at somebody like Moka and don't marry 1, 2, 2. Is he marrying that? Is he a polygamist? He's not a polygamist. He married the first wife, first wife died, married the second, and he decided to give it a trial to the third. And kudos to the sister who was not discouraged and who is not fearful that, oh, am I the next in line to die? Do you understand? So please, men, we are challenged in different ways. All this noise that is all over, going all over, the right to go up, right to go up, right this day, right this thing. Moka remarries again. Remarry, are those wives living and is marrying on top of them? Or can't you see that there's a challenge there? I'd rather pray for him instead of talking church up and down. Did he break any rule of the Bible? Or is want him to still stay alone so that tomorrow now one chorister say more can knock him on the chest, more can touch him breast, and before you know it, a large congregation he has built will become scattered over allegations that are unfounded. So you guys should leave the man and his God. This is where he found himself. Is a miracle. God is using him doing miracle for people and everything. So, but this is where he found himself. But God is still using him. God works in a mysterious manner. So everybody should please spare him. When Abraham was the father of one nation, but the wife was barren. Until he was impatient, have to get a child through the house help. So please, the way things, challenges happen in the house of laity, so it happened in the house of clergies. So in whichever way they are challenged, please let's pray for them. Instead of church. I know those who after the second one died, they say, no, not be me again, I'm not trying again. And then they are there, depressed and depressed and sickly and all that. So if he decided and said, well, since it has happened like this, he prayed again and he want to still give it a third trial. And as much as he did not, hear me well, he did not in any way contributed to the demise of the two. You gotta shut up. Allow him and his God. God knows everything. God knows what happened. And he's not alone in this. There are some that I said I can mention notable people I know that this kind of a thing happened on their way. And it crushed some. But this one refused to be crushed. So as he decided to give it a third trial, you guys should spare him. All this church up and down. I beg.